Hey, what's up? The Claw here. So this is going to be a video discussing the ending of the Final Fantasy VII remake. So obviously, if you don't want spoilers, don't watch this. That's very obvious, because I'm going to be discussing, and this also has spoilers for the original, by the way, if you wouldn't want that done either. So, if you don't want any spoilers at all involving Final Fantasy VII, I wouldn't watch this. But, this is the game that got me into Final Fantasy. As far as I've gotten into it, I played this. This is like my fifth or sixth favorite game ever. Fucking love this game. And I kind of went back and said, well, I got to play 7, right? Because that's the really popular one. That's the one that everyone talks about. It's so amazing. So, I went back and played it probably like around 2002 or 3. It was even kind of dated then. But I really enjoyed it. It's something that would probably crack like my top 50 games I've played. I got into the story, got into the characters as well as you can for a game that had that kind of limitations in terms of graphics and storytelling, and it's not translated very well from Japanese. But there's enough there to, really get you into it. And they started discussing remaking it, back when PS3 came out. So I've always thought, I could go through and play the game again because I've kind of wanted to. But I say, well, they're doing a remake, so I'll wait for the remake and see, what they do there, because I kind of felt even back in the early 2000s it was, like I just said, it was a little bit limited in the kind of story they could tell, and I wanted to see what they were able to do with it. So I bought the Final Fantasy VII remake. It was, as it got closer, I was really anticipating it. I wanted to see how it would be fleshed out, and blown away. Completely blown away by the game and how everything was reimagined, how this world was realized using, newer technology and the power that you can have with the PS4. I mean, the battle system, top notch. The world is top notch. You feel like you're in a living, breathing world. The attention to detail is beyond anything I've ever seen in a video game. That's all 10 out of 10 stuff. Soundtrack, just incredible remakes of, the classic FF7 soundtrack. And for like 95% of the game, it completely nails everything you would want it to be. And then you get to the ending. And I kind of want to rant about it. I beat it yesterday in like an all-day marathon. I knew I was getting towards the end of it. And I got into it. I sat down and I played it right through. I couldn't put the controller down, and that's very much, part of this game. It's a really great game. But that ending, so basically, I'm sure if you're watching this, you've watched the ending, you've seen the ending, or you want to know about the ending and you don't care about spoilers. So basically what they're saying is these dark ghosts that you keep seeing throughout, that were not in the original, that you keep seeing throughout the remake, are the harbingers of fate, or the arbiters of fate. So they are trying to keep destiny flowing as it was intended. Okay, I can accept that. They have to bring in some kind of new elements, so they're going to bring in this element of the team is fighting against what their destiny is supposed to be. And you have to have some kind of, it's a standalone game, kind of. So you have to have some kind of finality, some kind of big ending to it. And my initial problem with it was that you fight Sephiroth. And not that you just fight him. They do the whole thing with the wing and one wing angel playing and the epic confrontation. It's like you blew your wad on this already. You're leading up to this in the original game. He's like this presence throughout the game, and then you finally lead up and get to the end, and you're able to actually finally battle Sephiroth. And in this one, they give you a battle with him where everyone gets involved, at the ending of the first leg of this remake. And that was my initial problem with it. And then I got into some of the analysis of it, because I was kind of like, what did I just watch there? Because it's very confusing at the end. And that's when you realize what they're kind of going for here. So with these ghost characters, the Arbiters of Fate, they're actually breaking the fourth wall and saying that these ghosts know how the original game went and are intervening throughout the story to keep the events going in the way they did in the original game. What? Like, really? So what we're doing, we're taking a game that was very grounded in some real themes, and they're basically just turning it into, you know, like this multiple timeline, Destiny, Fate, Marvel, almost Marvel type thing, where now we have to battle against what our destiny was, and the destiny was what happened in the first game, in the original Final Fantasy VII, and we're fighting against that to create something new, and you have to actually battle destiny. And now you're saying that what was so perfect for 95% of the game, that this was like this amazing, just a perfect way to do a remake, and now I want to see how this great story and this classic game plays out, you know, using this type, you know, using this engine and using this writing and this character development in it. And now you're saying that you fought Destiny, beat it. Destiny is like this fourth wall breaking manifestation of what happens in the original release. And now, at the end, the unknown journey. And look, there's some cool, you know, foreshadowing, some cool cliffhangers. Sephiroth's comment about you have 7 seconds till the end. What will you do? Will you fight Destiny with me, Cloud? Yada, yada, yada. But this was not a story that needed to go into this alternate timeline bullshit, because it never works. I've never seen anyone pull it off right. Because what are the implications? You're just saying, if now you're saying you can just go through alternate timelines, and then you can fight these fate destiny monster things, and change what has happened, and change what will happen, and change what your destiny is, where is the weight behind anything that happens? Okay, this happens. All right, let's just change it. Go fight the black ghost monster thing. And I've never played Kingdom Hearts, but they're saying it's very much like Kingdom Hearts. I'm not interested in playing Kingdom Hearts, and I won't. But, I mean, to nail it for 95% of it, and then in that last bit, it's like, what? Like, really? Really? No one asked or wanted for this. And everyone who's flying out to buy this game wanted to see this classic story retold in this manner. And it's kind of... Now, look, the rest of the games have to come out. They can fix it. But what's being implied is not very satisfying, because I was looking forward, basically, to seeing this classic story be retold in a new light, and to see all these moments go down. And now you're saying that you fought ghost monsters that represent the chain of events in the original release, and defeated them as the end boss. Well, then you fight Sephiroth, because of course you have to fight Sephiroth in any kind of release, even though a slow build over years to this confrontation would have been like perfect. But, you know, they still have, there's a lot of ways they can go with it. Maybe they go, maybe it turns out to be another twist, and it's fucking amazing, and you're like, oh my god! But, man, that was weird. That threw me for a loop, you know, to marathon to the end of that game, to enjoy it as much as I did, and then at the end, like, this is the idea, this was the plan. I'm not even sure it's a remake. I mean, it feels more like a sequel. You're telling me that the original game happened. The original actual Final Fantasy already happened, and now things from the future are coming back into the past to ensure that that timeline stays as it was. So it's a sequel. It's not really a sequel, because you go to the same areas, you do the same things, it has a lot of the same beats. But I don't know, this alternate timeline shit, it just doesn't work. I mean, it feels... Anyone out there seen Terminator Genesis? And honestly, that could be like a decent piece of fan fiction. But it should not be a release. And I guess they tried to change that with Dark Fate, which I haven't seen, which apparently sucks. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Final Fantasy VII remake ending and its implications and everything. They have like 3 more or 2 more releases, and everything else about it, gameplay, graphics, sound, level design, character development, everything just incredible. You love the characters, you love the soundtrack, you love everything about the game. But I gotta throw you a curveball just because. Just because. So this is meant to be 5 minutes, and we're at 11. So shit. Peace.